Greencast! Welcome to episode 4? Yeah, 4. Wow, I'm already fucking forgetting how many episodes I've already done. Episode 4 of the GreenCast, a podcast where I talk to myself in my bedroom and ramble for a fucking hour. And talk about how I'm going to get on guests and then forget about it and then can't be bothered because it's a lot easier to just do it by myself. Don't know how long this week's podcast is going to end up being since I've only got like 2 things to talk about. But I actually do have a good few questions that aren't so much memerage that I can talk about. So the autistic part of the podcast is probably going to be a little bit longer, but alas, my topics won't be as long. Oh, as well as I have my first ever email to read out that someone sent in. So if you do actually want to send in longer stories or just other stuff that you want me to read out on the podcast, or other life advice or questions or whatever the fuck that you can't be typing into the community thing that I put on that people can submit questions or whatever the fuck, you can email them to me at mrgreentexts@gmail.com, and that's Mr. Green Texts with an S on the end. I know a couple people have fucked up my name a couple of times. Just call me Mr. Green Text and not Mr. Green Texts. This is plural, there's an S. There's more than one texts. So what do I want to talk about this week? Obviously the main thing that is on everyone's minds and everything else and all over YouTube is the recent YouTube shooting that happened. Which, don't know how I'm going to title this week's podcast, because if I include shooting anywhere, I'm going to get demonetized. So I'm going to have to be a bit creative in titling this week's podcast, methinks. So yeah, how fucked was that happened? Basically, if you don't already know somehow, a woman went to, oh my god, I have a fucking statement about what actually happened, but I don't actually know where it happened. I know it was YouTube HQ, but let me just quickly open it and just see how it... Nope, doesn't mention where it actually was. Somewhere in America. Of course it was America. Like it would be anywhere else. Where else the shootings happened? Not Australia, I can tell you that for sure. Anyway. Basically a YouTube shooting happened at YouTube HQ. Basically a woman went in, shot up a couple people, and then killed herself. Actually, I don't know why I'm abbreviating it. I have the statement in front of me, and I'm looking at it, and then I'm not reading it. Basically, there's been a shit ton of fake news as soon as it happened. Like, fucking Keemstar was tweeting about it. There's heaps of other people just trying to perpetuate fake news about her motives and everything like that. So I'll just quickly read the statement about what YouTube put out and a couple of other extra pieces of information that I thought I might just throw in. So they put it on their official Twitter. This happened on the 4th of April, my time, so the 3rd, probably American time. And it reads, Yesterday's horrific act, oh my god. Yesterday's horrific act of violence was deeply shocking and disturbing to our YouTube family. Still, we are uplifted by the heroic acts witnessed by both our employees and the San Bruno community. San Bruno, that's where it fucking was. I knew it was there somewhere, but I'm too autistic to find it. Thanks to our San Bruno community, especially the first responders. We've spent the last 24 hours collecting facts to better understand sequencing events and wanted to relay what we know at this time. Yesterday, a shooter entered through our parking garage to our outside courtyard and committed a horrible act of violence. Thanks to security protections in place, she never entered the building itself. Within 2 minutes of our 911 call, the San Bruno police arrived on the scene. The officers responding to the scene were exceptional. They entered the building to protect the lives of our employees. There were numerous acts of heroism, both from the first responders, particularly in the San Bruno PD, and former employees. Some employees went to the back of the building with officers to give them access to our spaces. Others remained to tend the wounded, to give our officers directions and provide details about the shooter that proved critical. Our employees have been encouraged to take time off work and or work from home, as we are making sure the wellness and services are readily available. We are also revisiting the incident in detail and will be increasing the security we have at our office and worldwide to make them more secure, and not only in the near term but long term. We want to express our deepest gratitude to the first responders, including the police, fire department, and medical response teams. And a huge thank you to the wider globe community for their outstanding support, yada yada yada. Thanks for not actually killing us. So yeah, this fucking nutcase just decided to take her fucking handgun, go in through the parking garage, which apparently is not guarded at all, and then try and shoot up the place. And she managed to not, she managed to injure 9, critically injure 1 person, which I think is still in hospital. And, before the police could get to her, she just killed herself. Sorry, have a drink of water. Oh, someone sent me a good meme the other day of levels of sound, and then at the very top it just had Mr. GreenCast taking a sip of water during the GreenCast, and I thought that was pretty funny. So shout out to you, dude. You probably listen to this podcast. So yeah, fucking how fucked is that? Oh man, I mean, I don't know if I want to mention. Philip DeFranco has a thing where he doesn't mention the names or show faces of the people that commit fucking shit like this, which fair enough. I don't think I'm going to mention that either, but I talk about it a bit more broadly without mentioning her name. Basically, she was a smaller partner on YouTube, and she uploaded a fucking shit ton of videos. I think she had like 3,000 subs or something. After the fucking act of violence, as they call it, was committed, they actually just went ahead and just straight deleted her YouTube channel. So you're not going to find it. I can imagine someone probably did back up or somehow fucking download her videos before YouTube got to it. You'd probably find that if you really tried, but her official channel's long gone. One of her last videos she made actually she was criticizing YouTube's demonetization system, and she thought that she was being targeted and unfairly discriminated against the demonetization system, as I think she was of, I want to say Muslim, but I don't know, because I don't want to be super racist, but fucking, I'm not racist, but not all Muslims are terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslim. That was a pretty funny meme that I heard a while ago. It's kind of true, but yeah. So yeah, so basically she took demonetization into her own hands, and I made a meme of that as soon as I fucking heard about the shooting on Twitter, and I was kind of right, which is kind of fucked. Which, I mean, we're all kind of making memes that just like, oh, I'm gonna go shoot up YouTube because it's fucking me over. And then someone just went ahead and straight did it. So, yeah. Shout out to you, you fucking idiot. I hope you rot in hell. You waste of human fucking air. Oh, man. I think that's about all in regards to that. Oh, apparently, again, might be perpetuating fake news again. Apparently there was, she actually went missing a couple of days before the shooting actually happened. She just ran away from her parents and drove down to... she drove apparently a really fucking long way to the YouTube HQ. And I think her parents and her friends reported her missing and called the police and stuff. But they didn't mention that she was dangerous, because, I mean, when your fucking teenage daughter goes missing, you're not going to assume that she's missing because she's going to go fucking shoot up a place. So, apparently the police were criticized a little bit because they didn't take the matters further. But, I mean, again, fucking, when someone's missing, you don't assume that they're missing because they're planning a fucking terrorism attack. Jesus Christ. So, yeah, that was that. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about this week is, I saw a film again this week. I've been seeing fucking films almost every week at this point, because all the fucking blockbusters seem to be coming out within a fucking month span. Like, literally, last week, Ready Player One came out. The week before that, Pacific Rim Uprising came out. I think there's another film before that. Yeah, and then this week, A Quiet Place came out, which I fucking loved, man. I went in with, I don't know, just medium sort of expectations. I'd heard some good things about it. Before I went in, I actually was going on Rotten Tomatoes to find out the scores of some other things. Pacific Rim Uprising has like under 50%, which, fuck you if you think that. Why the fuck are you going into a film like Pacific Rim Uprising expecting like Citizen Kane or some amazing storyline? You're going in to see Pacific Rim for some fucking robots punching some other fucking robots and occasionally punching some fucking weird Japanese monsters. And I mean, it's Transformers, but self-aware, because people are actually going to see it because of Transformers, not because of Shia LaBeouf and Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, Pacific Rim, grossly underrated by critics. It's good. If you like fucking seeing robots punching robots, it's a good film. Also, my main stunt woman that was in my short film was the stunt double for Amani in that film. So that was cool. Yeah, immediately went off fucking topic. A Quiet Place is apparently rated 100% on fucking, well, as of recording, well, as of last night checked, it was at 99% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is fucking insane. It's a horror/thriller film where the basic plot is the world is basically fallen into chaos, and it's basically post-apocalyptic, where if you make any sort of louder sort of sounds, so anything like above like that, for example, alerts these monsters/demons or whatever they are to your location, and they'll just come and fucking kill you. And they're big fuck off monsters. Basically, imagine the Rake, but on steroids, and that's basically the monster. And yeah, that's basically the basic plot of the film, and stuff happens, and they obviously adapted to this new world, for example, so that they don't cause too much noise when they walk. All of their paths, they're just lined with sand on the outside, and they just walk barefoot, so they basically make no noise when they walk. And because of the story world, the whole film is actually really, really fucking quiet. And I don't know, it just made me feel like I was actually part of the world, because it was really funny in the cinema too, because of the film being so quiet. Everyone's trying to be really quiet too, so there's always that cunt that's has like a packet of lollies or something, and they're trying to be really fucking quiet and putting their hand in the packet and pulling out a lolly and trying to not rattle the bag too much to make too much noise. And then there was a point where someone fucking like went to cough, and then someone shushed them, and I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, it was actually a surprisingly well-made film. The sound design was just amazing. Because I mean, yeah, again, they obviously knew what they were doing. And yeah, fucking if you enjoy that sort of thing, I guess go fucking watch it. I highly recommend it. And yeah, that's about really all that I have to talk about this week. So I suppose I'm just gonna get into the just most autistic part of this podcast. Stuff where I answer questions and stories from you cunts. So I think this week I'll just start with the first email that I got. So just give me a second while I stall and just get up the email. Okay, so so when you get if you guys want to email me, make sure you tell me if you want to remain anonymous and stuff, because I mean for example, this guy's just fucking emailed me and it's just got his name attached to it in the email address. So I don't know, I won't read your name, but I'll fucking read your first name. Fuck you for not doing it. I just won't read your last name, dude. So I got the first email that I have this week is from Jacob. And it says, "G'day cunt. Good stuff on podcast number 3, listening to it and will probably continue to do so. Cheers. I've already got a story followed by a question, or if you'd rather find it entertaining, feel free not to read it for the podcast. I did have a bit of a skim read over it, and it's a bit of a tard story, so I thought I might as well just read it. So it says, it was sometime in freshman year in high school, first year, or whatever is equivalent for Aussie weirdos. First year in high school was grade 8 for us. I had taken trades of sort in class and taught you. I had taken. Oh my god, it's not you, it's me. I had taken trades of sort of class that taught you what... No, it is you. I had taken a trades of sort of class that taught you wielding. I assume that's supposed to be welding. Carpentry, electrical, automotive, etc. And I'd recently moved to this school from another country. One day in class, there was a kid who switched classes and ended up in the same elective I had, who we'll call T, okay? T was a socially awkward guy who was really into My Little Pony, as every fucking autismo is, anime, and Pokemon, and just really didn't know how to function with other people his age. Autist? He called it, you bet. He would do things like sit in front of girls and either rub his hands really fast on his crotch or grind against tables people were sitting at, and tried to fight me one day and steal my backpack because he thought he took one of his My Little Pony charms he had on his bag. You get the idea. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Anyway, the classroom was mostly 80% Hispanic to 90% white. And the other 1% blacks, he would constantly fuck with the black kids. Okay, so that's just another thing that's really weird to me about, like, American culture and stuff. You can have just fucking, well, I mean, I suppose if you moved country, I assume you just moved to Mexico. But in Australia, it seems to be really ethnically diverse. When I went to school, high school, for example, there was a pretty fucking wide range of people. Well, I say wide range, probably fucking 60% white, I guess, but there's still like a reasonable amount of black people and Jews and whatever the fuck. So it's just weird to me that it's just 80% Hispanic. But again, I assume he just moved to Mexico, I guess. Anyway, where was I? 1% blacks that would constantly fuck with the black kids. One day, they were bullying him, as they normally did, so T ran over to one of the black girls and ripped her hair extensions off, and did this high-pitched town war cry, and this massive 6-foot-tall black guy grabbed him and just about threw him across the room. The teacher at the time was so baffled by this, he just stood and watched. T ran out into the halls with the girl's hair and continued his war cry. He just fucking stole the hair and fucking legged it, screeching. That's great. It went on for about an hour of security guard chasing him and he eventually ran all the way home and just didn't come back for the rest of the school week. Oh man, fucking Tard stories seem to be one of the most popular things on my channel, and for good reason. I have a feeling that most Tard stories are not 100% fake, but are probably heavily based on like one or two situations that happened with them, and they're obviously popular and people want to continue on the story, so they just make up shit. I'm not saying that your story's fake, dude, but yeah, I mean, I've had a couple of instances with Tards too, which in fact brings me to his question. And he asks, so for my question, did you have any Tards or any cringy classmates you knew? If so, let the people know. Have a good one, man. Peace. Cheers, mate. So I did have a Tard that actually went to the same primary school with me and then fucking moved to the same high school as me. I don't give a shit, I'm gonna fucking say his name. His name was Daniel Angelucci, and within my friend group, we just called him Daniel Angelagucci. I don't know, it just seemed pretty funny to me. So, what are some of the stories with Angelagucci? I have a particular memory with Angelagucci when I was in primary school. I was outside with the bag racks. I'm gonna have to fucking explain this now, because Americans don't know what this is. Basically, school in Australia are just buildings that are just connected with walkways, and majority of it is outside. School here isn't particularly one building that has different classrooms like that. They're pretty spread all over the place. And we didn't have lockers, we just had like a rack, so we just put our bags on the outside. And so I was going something to get my thing on a water bottle for my bag, and then there's Angelagucci just riding someone else's scooter that was sitting by the bag racks, and I just fucking turn around and just watch him try to ride the scooter, and because of the surface that we were on, it's like some weird patterny thing where they just had some concrete and they've just thrown a heap of stones in there for some patterning, And because it's this really bumpy, uneven surface, I guess there was a stone that was sticking up a bit further than the others. And as he's fucking scooting along on this, the scooter wheel catches the stone and immediately just eats shit and just flies over the fucking handlebars. And he fucking grazes his knee, and then of course does the good old like tard cry, and he just shouts, "What the fuck?" And it was just so fucking funny to me, because he's obviously just taken some other kid's fucking scooter, just eating shit, and just cursed the world for it. And I'm like, what are you doing, you fucking dropkick? One of the other stories with Angelaguchi was in high school this time. My friend group, again on the outside during lunch, we'd just take up tables and just shoot the shit and whatever the fuck. And we're eating lunch at this particular table, and then Angelaguchi just wanted to sit with us for some fucking reason, because we didn't treat him like a total shitbag most of the time, I guess. And he wanted to sit down, and we told him, no, go fuck off. Well, I say we treated him nice, but then, yeah, we just told him to fuck off. Immediate 180. Yeah, we told him to fuck off, no, we don't want you to sit with us. And then he was really fucking adamant on sitting with us, and we're like, no, you're not fucking sitting with us. And then my friend Brandon, on the end, he obviously had a little bit more space, and he obviously just did the fucking man-spreading thing, where he just spread out, and he's like, nope, no room. And so Angelaguchi's a pretty tall dude, tall and wide. He's probably like 6'3", I want to say. He's pretty tall. I mean, this was high school as well. So what was, I don't know when, I think this was grade like 10 or 11? Might have been 11. But yeah, Brandon's just like, no, fuck off. And then Angelaguchi's just like, welp, I'm sitting down. And then like, he goes as hard as he can, and then just fucking shoves him over so he can sit down. And then Brandon's just like, who can play at this game? And then he just fucking shoves him back the opposite direction. And then I guess he wasn't fucking ready for it, or even expecting it, because he immediately just fucking falls straight on his fucking like tailbone. And he does the same thing as he did when he fell off the scooter, now that I'm thinking about it. He just shouts, "What the fuck?" And then fucking the teacher comes around the corner, it's like, what the fuck? And Brandon's just like, he fell off the seat. And he's just like, okay. And then obviously fucking just escorts Angelaguchi off somewhere else so he can fucking calm down while he's cursing Brenda's name. Yeah. Unlike American schools, they separated the TARs and the special kids from everyone else, so they weren't fucking associating with us with that much. The only time that they could really do that was with lunchtimes, or just other cases where we just happened to cross their paths going from one place to another. In my primary school, again, that class was just, for some fucking reason, my primary school. I went to a Catholic primary school and high school, not for any religious reasons. It just happened to be the best schools in the sort of area. One, because that's where my friends were going. They're not really religious either, but they just have the best sort of facilities and sort of shit. And my primary school was named after colors of the rainbow, and obviously from prep to grade 7, which from grade 7, when I went to school, from grade 7 down is primary school, and then grade 8 to 12 is high school, which is sophomore and whatever the fuck else your weird system is. And so, obviously all the colours of the rainbow were taken by all the normal classes, and so the special kids were called gold class. And we'd always just fucking meme about how fucking dumb it is. They're just like, oh, there's the fucking gold class, and it's just all the special kids. Oh man, those were not the days. Okay, so let's get into the next part, where I have a look at the comments left on that community tab. So again, if you want to leave any other questions or comments, I'm going to put up another community thing sometime before next weekend, so you can comment on that. Or you can email me longer forms on mrgreentext@gmail.com. So, first question comes from Hasim the Dream, and he asks, you said you don't particularly enjoy green text. What would you rather do? Also gay porn, which seems to be the fucking meme in this fucking whenever I ask questions. So yeah, I think one of the first podcasts I said I don't particularly enjoy making the green text. And well, I say when I'm not making the green text, I'm reading them. making the green text videos, I should say. I enjoy reading them. Well, do I enjoy... well, I'm rethinking this as I'm saying it. I enjoy most of the green texts. Just occasionally that some of them are just written really fucking bad. Like I've said every time, that they're just written by NEETs at 4 AM in their mother's basement that don't give a shit about grammar or reread what they fucking write. And so a lot of the time shit doesn't make sense, and again, this is why shit gets past me sometimes and I have to repeat myself a lot. It's because it's written so fucking bad that I just don't get it. So that's one of the reasons why I don't particularly enjoy it, is because it's so fucking hard to read some of this shit sometimes, because it's written so fucking bad. Which is why a lot of the text-to-speech channels have it a lot easier, because they can just fucking type it, and then I have to read it. But then again, like I said, you lose the personality with this sort of stuff. So, yeah, I don't particularly enjoy making it. It's not as creatively satisfying as other sort of editing ventures that I do. Which she also asked, what would I rather do? I'd rather be editing, like, actual short films and stuff like that. But the trouble is with that sort of stuff, you don't get that many opportunities to edit that sort of thing, unless you're, like, part of a fucking group or whatever. And just constantly making shit, like Corridor Digital. That'd be, like, the fucking dream, that sort of thing. I am editing a short film at the moment. It's a horror film called Jane's Night. Again, I have no idea. That's the sort of trouble with short films too, is that when you make them and then finish them and edit them, they're always in a sort of limbo state where, because everyone wants to get their films into a film festival. But I think I've mentioned this before, but I'll give you a quick piece. Basically, if you want to screen a film at a film festival, you can't have that film online. So I can't post any of the films that I work on online, because then they won't be able to be entered into a film festival. And some of these film festivals, the barrier for entry could be, say, for example, now, I think there's one that we're looking to enter another short film in. I think the cutoff is April, mid-April, and then the festival isn't until September. So we shot this film in October last year, and we're not going to be able to put it online to at least, like, maybe the end of this year, which is really fucking annoying. So it's the same with this fucking horror short film, which I'm still editing. There's a lot of aspects of it that are not great, I will say that. But I did convince the director to do some reshoots, and I don't know, it turned into a thing that'd be a bit more enjoyable than what I was handed, fortunately. Just have another drink of water. But yeah, that'd probably be what I would rather be doing than editing green text, is editing short films. But then again, editing short films can really take it out of you, because I really enjoy the rhythm of editing things. But at the same time, it can take quite a lot out of you, and it takes a lot of brain power, because at the same time you have to be spatially aware of the scene that you edit for example, and make sure that you don't break any sort of like editing rules, because then it just becomes confusing. I know Creeps Works a while ago doesn't give a shit about a lot of these rules, but as I tried to explain to him, the rules are in place for a fucking reason, because it'll just leave your audience confused. For example, the 180-degree rule. One of the biggest or mainstream breaks of this rule was in not the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk, but the Incredible Hulk before that. There's a fucking dinner scene where, well, basically, the 180-degree rule is you draw a pretend line in the scene, and you keep your camera that you're shooting behind that line that you draw. So in the scene from Incredible Hulk and this dining room scene, they do the normal camera between like the twos with the close-ups of them, but then the camera goes on the other side of that line, which in the spatial how do I explain this? In the spatial thing of the scene, the camera's on the outside of the house, and it's actually on the other side of the glass, and the glass actually disappears, which is another fucking fuck up of it on their end. But yeah, I enjoy that, and also I own multiple 3D printers, and I 3D print a lot of shit. Mostly movie replicas and other costumes and stuff like that. And yeah, that's what I like to do. Charlie Oldfield asks, how long is your dick? My dick is 12 inches fully erect, very relaxed. Props to anybody who can guess what that reference was from. I don't know. Actually, I don't think I've ever actually measured my dick. I don't know. I'd say it's average. It's not small, but it's not large. Freitag asks, one question is, what are your other YouTube channels about, and how long have you been doing YouTube? So yeah, I think a while ago I said that I've got other YouTube channels that I run and shit. Some of the other YouTube channels I have, is my media company that I run. Well, it's a small one. I literally just registered a business number at the end of last year. It's basically tax shit, that I made the company for, and just so I can write off all the YouTube revenue and stuff like that, and all the other equipment that I had to buy for bits and pieces. So basically, the other channel that I have, I document some of the 3D prints and other props and costume bits and pieces that I make, and I also whack them on eBay to sell, which is kind of the reason why I don't want to share that, because it's got my own return address, which I should probably get a PO box. And that's the reason why I don't particularly want to share it with you guys. Because I don't want my fucking address leaking out on the internet, particularly anytime soon. But I mean, if you dig that hard, you could probably find it. It's not that hard. What are some of the other channels that I have? It's just like other channels for like short films and shit like that, that I run. And making content for a couple of other people. There's a Canadian... Actually, I don't know if I can say it. Oh, fuck it, whatever. There's a Canadian sports betting thing that I edit animations for. I do that about once a week or so, which is alright. And how long I've been doing YouTube for? Well, my first channel that I had in... fucking first grade of... Actually, no. Wait. When was it? It must have been grade 7, I think. When the fuck was that? Holy shit, I don't know. Like 2015? No, 2015. Fuck no. I want to say like 2011. That sounds about right. Yeah, actually no. I think 2011. Yeah, 2011 was the first channel that I had. My friend actually made it for me, and just fucking kept it and just uploaded shit to then, and then I converted that to my fucking media company's YouTube channel. So what's that? Fucking 7 years? Fucking 7 years. What the fuck? That's not like constant uploading. I mean, fucking ages ago, I had like a thing where I'd dress up as a character and then do fucking all of the challenges that YouTube was like hot for a minute. Like the fucking milk challenge, the cinnamon challenge I did, warhead challenge I did. One of my most popular videos I did was... Actually, I don't know if I can say it because you probably find it then. Actually, no, I deleted it, so... another liter milk challenge while I was getting eggs pelted at me, because Max Murphy did that, and Max is one of my idols. Still kind of is a bit of a bit, but I mean, now he just uploads fucking unboxings of Pokemon cards, which I mean, I like. It's enjoyable. Yeah, I think that's about it with that channel. I don't know. I did like a couple of other short style films, I guess. As much as a fucking like high school kid in Australia can, because I mean, we can't really do many gun films here, because if you take a fucking gun out to the public, you'll get fucking arrested. Which I do have a replica gun collection, but I mean, yeah. But yeah, that's my other channels, and that's about fucking 7 years. What the fuck? Oh yeah, I think I made this channel like I made this channel like 3 years ago, but I only really started uploading it like mid last year, which have not missed a fucking day since. So yeah, I'm gonna have another drink while I have a look at the next question. Oh, here's a good one. Ramses Blomberg asks, any future plans / changes for the channel? Also, what are your opinions on the high pressure of the French public on George Clemency was great high times, blah, blah, blah. Cool, nice meme, dude. I'm not reading that, so it can't be fucked. So future plans / changes for the channel. I don't know. The only changes that I've kind of recently made that you might have noticed is I've started doing longer uploads on Monday and Friday, my time. So you've got 2 longer green texts a week, as well as the shorter ones throughout the week. Because the longer ones are obviously doing better on the channel. And I'm having to look through the analytics, and I had another meeting with the channel network that I'm with, and basically just like, yeah, make longer videos, and then I did, and just like, look at your channel, it's doing better. So I've done that, but I do want to do some more occasional, like, one-off videos. The response video to Creep's work I really enjoyed making. I kind of want to make some more, like, memes and that sort of stuff. Or even, like, I got a couple of ideas of just some other really fucking random and weird videos to make on the channel. But, I don't know. I think it'd be really funny to make, like, a parody ASMR video. Which is funny, because I actually, unironically, listen to ASMR when I go to sleep as well. But I could probably make up a little set and stuff, and obviously I'm gonna fucking wear a mask and hide my identity and shit like that, because I don't want to reveal my face and shit yet. At least not for a while. I think that'd be pretty funny to do, to be honest. Let me know if you want to see that from me. Yeah. I think that's about it for future plans / changes. Yeah. Charlie Oldfield asks, are you still a virgin fag? And if not, what's your best sex story? Yes, I'm still a virgin fag. I think I talked on the first podcast about the closest I've ever gotten to losing it, but yeah. Ozmag asks, what is the meaning of life? Is that even a question? 42. But, okay, I'll actually kind of answer it. In my opinion, like, my sort of outlook on life is the meaning of life. It's just to fucking, I mean, people say the meaning of life is to live it, but I'd say just being happy with life, for example. I've never really had a, like, mainstream sort of ish job before, and that's my fucking goal in life, is to avoid that, because I don't want to fucking do a job that I don't fucking enjoy, which, I mean, 50-50, I enjoy this. I mean, the main reason I do it is because you guys fucking watch the content and you interact with me. Of course, I'm going to keep making this if people fucking keep watching it and shit. But I don't know, I think it's just being able to live and enjoy life, I'd say. And, yeah, again, that's one of my aspirations, just to avoid the shit kicker jobs where I don't enjoy stuff. But, yeah. Let's see. Skittle Scattle TV asks, what do you think about the current Australian politics, or do you prefer to be STA political? I think it's just apolitical. Yeah, I think I'd just prefer to stay apolitical to stuff. Honestly, it's pretty fucking funny, because I see more shit with American politics than I see in my own fucking country's politics here, which kind of says a lot about Australia, I guess. I don't know, we have our fucking memesters, like Pauline Hanson, for example, of the One Nation thing. That's basically our equivalent of Trump, except a lot worse, and denying racism a lot fucking harder. She did a hot meme a while ago where she, in protest of people being able to wear burqas in government buildings, she decided to come into Parliament dressed in a full head-to-toe burqa, and that was a fucking... fucking Australia had some good fun with all the mainstream media headlines and shit, I'll tell you that. But yeah, I mean, I just don't give a shit. I don't give a shit enough to care, to be honest. I voted in the last election. I think I mentioned this before. When I voted in the last election, I just voted for whoever's fucking name sounded cool, and I just made sure to avoid the One Nation stuff, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I just don't fucking care. I mean, unless it's, how do I explain? Stuff like they put out votes every now and then for like ages ago. Like I think I mentioned in the first podcast, voting for the NBN. Like, of course I'm gonna fucking vote like for that, and I'm gonna care about that. But I mean, for voting for like people to represent me, I probably should do research into people and to what their views are, because I mean they are supposed to be a voice for the people. But just I don't care. Really. It's kind of like the mentality of most Australians is just like, I don't give a shit, mate. I just don't fucking care. I think that's about it. Let me just quickly skim over it. Yeah, okay. I think that's about it. Cool. Ah, damn it, I've done it again. Fucking... So, if you actually made it through this whole podcast, if you hadn't realised, I've got a bit of a running meme where if you did make it through, then you put a secret message in your comments somewhere to let me know that you've actually listened to it. Because I love people that don't listen to the podcast, coming to the podcast and then scrolling down the comments and seeing a giant stream of one particular thing that's just really fucking weird. And I do this every week where I only realize till it comes to it, and I'm not prepared at all for a fucking, for a phrase, and it's always just the most retarded thing. Damn it, so now I'm just stalling, and I'm not even thinking. Fucking, give me a second to think of something. Okay, so I got it. I know what to include for this week's secret phrase. So if you did make it all the way through this week's podcast, make sure you let me know by leaving somewhere in your comments this phrase. Mr. GreenCast is a lot better narrator than Mr. Creeps works. I'm sure that's gonna fucking ruffle some jimmies. Okay, so if you do actually want to be a part of the podcast, if you want to ask me any sort of life advice, questions, or any of that sort of shit, you can email me at mrgreentext@gmail.com. That's Mr. Greentext with an S on the end of that. Or you can look out on my channel community tab, where I'll put up another community post, and you can comment on your questions down below there. So, yeah. Also to that one guy who said I should keep the podcast in a separate channel, fuck you, it won't get too many views. Bye!